Good evening, Darren. How's it going?
Good. How about
Oh
you?
boy. Okay, I had you muted. I see that you were trying to say something, but I had my whole computer muted. How are you this evening?
I'm good. How about you?
Good. Good. All right. Sorry I'm a few minutes late, but
Oh, no big deal.
seems like that's the thing. That's a cool thing to do is be late, apparently. So, all right. Well, let's kind of get started. Do you have any questions for me right now?
I don't know.
Okay. Sounds good. How was your brain after last week and the
It was
math?
good. It was good. Math, I mean, I learned some, and then at the same time, math is kind of something easier for me. So I don't
Cool.
know. I had fun.
Good. I kind of like it actually now. I used to hate math, but cool. All right. Well, let's kind of get started. We were gonna do national this week,
Okay.
so just change it up. What you said you don't have any questions. Do you have like a section that you have struggled with or anything so
Um,
far?
yeah, that part I don't know because I guess the book I have from the class I took, I don't know if it's really some of it's spelled out Minnesota specific. I guess I don't really pay too much attention to any of it, whether
Okay.
it's state or national.
Yeah, not a problem. Well, good then. Whew. Excuse me. Whew. Excuse me, the rain makes me sleepy. Um, well, let's just start with some questions then, and we'll
Okay.
kind of go from there. Um, I have this national, it's a prep exam
Okay.
prep. Um, so I'm just gonna pick a couple of questions out of each unit, and then if there's something that jumps out that you're struggling with or that it's like, oh yeah, actually, can you expound on that? Just let me know, but we'll kind of just start there and keep going.
Okay. Sounds good.
Cool. Let me get to, okay. Let me get to the actual questions. I forget that oh yeah, that's right. We're gonna do
Hidden.
that, but I have the wrong book. Yeah?
Oh, I just said they're hidden.
Yeah, well, and I forget, what I really should do is just mark which book I like for this. That one is really good when I'm giving it to someone to just, here, take this, read this, because it's got some good information, but this one is the good one. Otherwise, that one just has true and false, which the exams don't do true and false. They might like a handful, but not
Okay.
typically it's multiple choice. So okay. So unit 1 in national, let's just start there. How many section 4 contains how many acres? 40,
Oh,
160,
internet.
640, or 43,560.
I think my internet was lagging. I'm sorry to hear that.
No, you're good. You're good. How many? I'll phrase it this way. How many acres is in a section?
Somehow that'd be what 640 times 43,560. Is that my way off?
Nope. Nope. You're going too far. 640.
Oh,
It's 640 acres
okay. Yeah.
in a
Okay.
section. That's it.
All
Just
right.
one section. Done. There you go.
Okay.
That's simple. A survey would do all of the following except what? A, establish boundaries. B, create legal descriptions for plat maps. C, reveal an illegal use, such as a commercial use in a residential zone. Or D, find encroachments. Which one would a survey not do?
Oh, not do.
Yep. A survey would do all of the following except.
So A was established boundaries. B
So would
was,
establish
or
boundaries.
it would do that, right? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. What about, would it create legal descriptions for plat maps?
What's C real quick?
C is reveal an illegal use, such as commercial use in a residential zone.
Okay, so it would do B. And also
Mhm.
D, so it would be C.
Bingo. All right. Real estate is bought and sold based on A, street addresses, B, property descriptions, C, plat sizes only, or D, plats and parcels.
That's not an accept, is it? Did I miss the accept? It would,
Nope.
how it's,
There's one right answer.
what was B? Is that
Property
legal
descriptions.
property description? I
Real
want to say
estate.
B.
You would be right.
Okay.
You would be right. So street address is not necessarily always accurate. They use it for postal service,
Mhm.
but it's not always legally accurate. Sizes and parcels are just that. How
Okay.
big they are or what they are, but not where they are specifically. So a property description is the legal address, the legal way to buy and sell a property.
Okay.
Yep. And so you'll see on a purchase agreement, it'll have the address and then it will have the legal description, which is the property description.
Okay.
Yep. So when you see legal description or property description, they're interchangeable.
Okay.
People use that term interchangeably. I wish they wouldn't, but they do. So, okay. The definition of real estate includes A, land, B, improvements, C, rights, or D, all of these.
Well, so what was A
Land.
was land, improvements. I want to say all of them because the first
Yep.
two I know are okay.
Yep, exactly. Which of the following would ordinarily be considered personal property? Excuse me, drapery rods is the first one. Freestanding refrigerator, a built-in bookcase, ceiling fan.
Refrigerator.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Good. Why not the drapery rods?
Because it's attached to the house or fixed, I guess.
Mm-hmm. But so is my picture frame. This is attached.
It's not part of the house.
It does not. It is not considered an improvement.
Okay.
Yep. And the reason I always ask is because it'll come up. Maybe not a picture frame and maybe not drapery rods, but at some point somebody will ask, oh, does that come with the house? And you're gonna have to figure out how to figure it out.
Okay.
Right. That's all. When in doubt, real life application here. When in doubt, write it into the purchase agreement.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, we'll do one more here because you're getting all of these. Easy peasy. All of the following are true about fixtures, except what? A, fixtures typically start as personal property. B, if the seller is going to keep a fixture, it must be excluded in the purchase contract. C, trade fixtures are treated the same as all other fixtures. Or D, the intention, attachment, adaptation, and agreement are all used to define a fixture.
And the question was what? Was
All of the following are true about fixtures except.
and can you read the trade one again?
Trade fixtures are treated the same as all other fixtures.
I want to say trade fixtures are the ones that yeah, whatever they're using for their business or their trade or whatever they can take.
Correct. Yep. That's the one. All right, perfect. I'm not worried about you with unit 1 at all. Going to the next one. Do you know when you're taking your test yet?
That I don't know. I
Okay.
mean, I want to do it sooner than later, I guess. It's just
Yeah.
one of those things where I'm just like, ugh. But
Okay.
I know I'm going to spend a lot of time this weekend reading through my book and just kind of quizzing myself and writing stuff down and just kind of see how comfortable I am after the weekend, I guess, and then go
Okay.
from there.
Okay. What I can do also is we can sit down for an hour or so, especially if you're close to the office. You can come in, we can sit down for an hour or two,
Okay.
and we can just do really quick review. That way we can actually decide if you're ready or if it's, let's give it another week or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna text my husband just really fast and ask him to let my dog out. Okay. All right. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay.
That's the one downside of doing this at home. I get to be comfy. I get to be in my sweatpants.
Yeah.
But then my dog also wants to go outside because he doesn't understand I'm in a meeting. He's sitting there going, "Well, but mom, you're home.
Yeah.
I gotta pee." Okay. Thank you, honey. Yeah. Okay. Real property taxes are computed based on the property's A, subjective value, B, market value, C, assessed value, or D, income value.
Assessed.
I hate when they're in the wrong size. Correct. Absolutely. Okay. The process by which the government exercises its powers to take private lands for public use is what? Condemnation, escheat, foreclosure, or eminent domain?
Oh boy. What was the first one and the last one?
Yep. Condemnation and eminent domain. Only one of those is the actual process.
Yeah, I say one's the process and one's the name.
Good job. You have it narrowed down to the right two.
Domain, and what was the other one?
Eminent domain, condemnation.
And we're looking for
the process by which the government exercises its powers.
the first one.
Condemnation.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Good job. All of the following are governmental powers except A, deed restrictions, B, taxation, C, zoning, or D, escheat.
And this is an accept one.
Yep. All of the following are governmental powers except deed restrictions, taxation, zoning, or escheat.
Is it deed restrictions?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Under police power, building codes determine all of the following, except A, acceptable land uses, B, the types of plumbing and electrical materials allowed, C, the height and structure requirements, or D, methods of construction to be used. Okay, what do you think?
What was the question again? The
Sorry.
police power is all except?
Yep. All under police power, building codes determine all of the following except what?
Can you run through the answers again real quick?
Acceptable land uses, the types of plumbing and electrical materials allowed, height and structure requirements, methods of construction to be used.
A.
Do you, so I have a question. When you're answering these, do you feel like it's just a wild guess, or are you pretty sure
No,
most of them?
I'm pretty sure because I know some of this stuff I've hammered pretty good. For me, I guess it's more or less the stuff I've done at home with like blank piece of paper and questions and writing it in. It's like it's different for me to when I read it versus being said.
Right.
So I really like some of the stuff goes kind of over my head where I might have forgot the word or what the answer was or stuff. So it's and just kind of thinking to make sure that I get it right, I guess. So
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not shot in the dark. I might have it narrowed down to 2, and then I'm trying to like from advice you've given about
yeah,
actually like thinking about what it is and just relating it to, well, that can't be it. So I go with the other one.
perfect. That's exactly what it should be, and that's why I ask, because
Okay.
I'm not trying to, I'm not judging or going, well, he doesn't actually know. I'm curious, right? Like, if you're getting lucky, well, shit, then go get lucky on the actual test.
Yeah.
Or is it, no, he knows he's fine. And so that was why. So, perfect.
Not just
Okay,
pulling A, B, or C out of a hat.
right. It's I've had someone, they with me, they, oh God, never got anything right. How they passed, I have no idea. They lasted about,
Happens.
oh, it sure does. And I was like, well, congrats, I guess. They're like, yeah, it was great. It was super easy. I'm like, I hate your type. Just so you know, I hate your type. They lasted a hot minute. I was like, all right, well, fine. Okay, let's do one more here because I feel like you've got this section down too, which is good. All right, the term estate refers to the amount of property owned by an individual, the rights held by someone who has possessory interest in real estate, C, a claim against or interest in land held by someone other than the owner of the property, or D, an exercise of police power.
And the question isn't an accept, right? They're looking for.
The term
And what
estate refers to
and what was the first one?
the amount of property owned by an individual.
And what's B?
The rights held by someone who has a possessory interest in real estate.
And so A is saying the amount of land.
Yep.
Yeah. So B.
Yep. It doesn't matter how big or small. Do they own it or not?
Okay.
Yep. So my little rambler is just as much an estate as the big giant mansion that Bill Gates owns.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Do you want to do a couple more? You seemed.
I can do one more. See if I can.
Okay,
get
I was gonna
one
say
wrong.
title stuff and all of that is like estate and that it's tricky. And so I'm pleasantly I shouldn't say even pleasantly surprised. I'm glad that it's making sense to you, or at least seems to be. Okay, when an individual or entity holds a claim against another's property, it is a what? An estate, a life tenancy, a lien, or a license?
A lien.
Bingo. All right. We're flying. I like it. Okay. In a quitclaim deed, the grantor covenants A, that the title is marketable, B, nothing and has no future liability, C, that she owns the property and has the right to convey title, or D, that she will defend any claims against the title.
And the question was,
In a quitclaim deed, the grantor covenants what?
is the one where what was the one where it says they don't have any liabilities or anything?
Covenants nothing and has no future liabilities.
Yeah, that one.
Yep, exactly. Perfect. What is a quitclaim deed?
I should know this better because I don't know, when I went through my divorce, I got one and I kept the house, whatever, and had to refinance and all that, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Got her name off the deed or whatever.
Yep. So she used a quitclaim deed, I'm sure.
Yep.
Okay. What did that do to the ownership of the house? Does she have any ownership now?
No. So just removed her.
If you go and sell it, and let's say it's a bad deed, it won't be. But let's say it is. Can somebody come back to her and go, "Hey, you were on this once. I'm coming to you for help."
No.
What does she get to say?
She has nothing to do with it.
Pretty much. That's
not
exactly
hers.
it. I signed a quitclaim deed. I hold no liabilities. Done.
Okay.
Yep. So that's exactly what it is. You are giving up all rights and all ownership.
Okay.
It isn't just the most common one is divorce. Sometimes it's a parent co-signs for their kid, and they end up on the deed for the house, and all of a sudden, let's say the kid has been paying it, and now the parent can get off of the mortgage and all of that. So what do? They sign a quitclaim. Things like that.
Okay.
Okay, cool. To be valid, a deed must have a what? A, property description. B, list of encumbrances. C, competent grantee. Or D, description of all improvements.
A. I think you got muted. I can't hear you.
There we go. Thank you. I have the book resting on the thing. Okay. In regard to a deed, the term execution refers to notarization, recordation, delivery and acceptance, or the signatures of the grantors?
And the question was
In regard to a deed, the term execution refers to what? This one's tough.
yeah, this one might be actually like rolling the dice or picking it up.
That's okay. So
Um,
well, let's break it down then. Okay, a deed. We know what that is, right? Proof of ownership. Okay. For it to be executed, for it to be valid, it's actually a thing. What does it need? Does it need to be notarized?
that I want to say I don't think so.
Nope, it does not. What about recorded? Does it have to be recorded?
I want to say yes.
It
That
does
doesn't?
not have to be recorded. Nope. What if the county is backed up 6 months? Is it not your house for 6 months?
Oh yeah, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's a silly example, but it's a legitimate one, right?
Yep.
So there you go. What about delivery and acceptance? Is a deed delivered and accepted?
I mean, I don't know. I guess it's the signature one, right? Because once it's signed, you're saying,
Yep.
here it is.
Once the signatures of the grantors are there, you're done. It's yours.
Okay.
So when you sit in on a signing, you will see that that's one of the last things that they have, that the title people have them sign, because they want them to guarantee. There have been people who've gotten up in the middle of signings and left. And so if that borrower doesn't sign all of the mortgage paperwork first, all of a sudden you sign that title, that deed, you get up and leave and it's yours. And you haven't signed the mortgage paperwork yet saying that you'll buy it back. So as soon as that's signed, it's yours.
Okay.
Yep. So it's always a signature. It sounds silly, but there you go. I think there should be like a next step, but there isn't. Okay. Next one. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, cool. The covenant affirming that the grantor holds title and has the right to convey it to another is the covenant of further assurance against encumbrances, of quiet enjoyment, or of season.
That one's tricky.
Mhm.
What were the first two answers?
Of further assurance against encumbrances.
And the question?
The covenant affirming that the grantor holds title and has the right to convey it to another is the covenant of what?
What was C?
Of quiet enjoyment.
Is it B?
That's not a thing.
It's not a thing?
Not in this term. So you are correct. Of quiet enjoyment, that's, you can enjoy it quietly, you can enjoy it blaring music, who cares? But you do get enjoyment, but that doesn't have anything to do with conveying it. I'm kind of going backwards here. A further assurance, assurance of what? Right? Assurance of it's going to be around. I don't know, an act of God could blow our house down. So there are no assurances.
Mm-hmm.
Against encumbrances. An encumbrance would be kind of like a cloud on a title. You find out about that. You don't have, you're not guaranteed to be able to move to pass on the encumbrance to the next person. There might be a law that comes by and says, nope, you have to move that. Or maybe they don't, maybe the next buyers don't want to, but you're not guaranteed that. Of season, SEISEN, season, is the only thing that that gives you the right to convey other things to the next person.
Okay.
Yep. Does that make sense? That one's tough. That's confusing.
Yeah, I might, when I come across that, might read it a few times in my book.
Let's see if I can find a good. I have my yeah, I would look it up because it's not, I'm not finding it here quickly. The other thing I like to do that actually helps sometimes is, oh, here we go, is Google this stuff. Because for some reason, sometimes they have some images or like charts or something that pops up. I'm like, that makes sense to my brain.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. General warranty deed includes most promises or covenants. Greatest protection for the grantee, buyer. And then it contains 5 covenants. Covenant of season, grantor owns and has the right to convey, which means that I'm allowed to sell it. I have the legal ability. Covenant of quiet enjoyment, grantee will not be disturbed by others claiming an interest. Yeah. So I would look at general warranty deeds. That's going to help explain that.
Okay.
Yep. So when you're talking about conveying it to another. Okay. All right. If a lender wants to convey title on a foreclosed property with no warranties to the grantee and no liabilities to the grantor, it would be logical to use a quitclaim deed, special warranty deed, or a sheriff's deed.
Boy, I might have to actually like read through all this stuff.
You're good. This unit is tough.
And it's, what was the question? It was,
Yep. If a lender wanted to convey title on a foreclosed property with no warranties and no liabilities, it would be logical to use what?
and what were the answers again?
Quitclaim deed, special warranty deed, a warranty deed, or a sheriff's deed. So here are the key ones. No warranties and no liabilities.
Is the
Those are
bank on the deed? So would they do the quick claim?
Yep. So they're just trying to give this house to the person that's buying it. They don't want to do any, we guarantee nothing. They're done with it. You bought it, you paid the right amount, it's yours. Take it and leave.
Okay.
So it's a quick claim. All right. The probate process settles disputes between co-owners of property. That's A. B, rules on warranty claims. C, is required if the party died testate. D, determines claims under adverse possession. I have a hiccup. The probate process. What?
C.
Yep. All right. Which parties must sign a deed to make it valid? A, grantors only. B, grantees only. C, both grantors and grantees. Or D, leasees only.
C. No.
Nope, just grantors. Just the person who's buying it.
Okay.
Yep. They don't care who sold it. It just matters who owns it.
Okay. Who's responsible moving forward?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's it. You want to do a couple more here? Or do I move on to the next section?
A couple more is fine.
Okay, cool. Ownership in severalty refers to A, more than one owner. B, the right of survivorship. C, ownership between spouses. Or D, ownership by one person or entity.
Oh boy. What was A?
More than one owner.
I want to say that's the one with more than one owner.
Okay. I'm highlighting the 3 right answers next. Bear with me. You said A, more than one owner.
Yeah.
Okay, severalty is actually one person.
Okay.
It's convoluted. But that gives you own the property. There was, who was it? Abby, I think, twisted the severalty word into something else. But in its entirety, you own it. You own several shares of it. That's it. You have it.
Okay.
Tell me what joint tenancy is.
Joint tenancy, that's when more than one or two people own something together.
Is there the right of survivorship?
Isn't that the one where if one passed away, the other one gets it?
So right of survivorship is that it automatically goes to the next person, to the other owner. Oh, now I'm thinking too hard. Hold on. Okay. Joint tenancy is any number of people. So 4 people could own this house.
Mhm.
And they all own the house together. And if Bob dies, the right of survivorship, these 3 get the house. They keep it.
Okay.
Not joint tenancy, excuse me. Tenancy in common, Bob dies, but his 2 kids come. These 3 don't automatically get his shares. Bob's shares go to his 2 kids.
Okay.
Does that make sense? It's really
Yeah.
confusing. Okay. Okay, cool. Good, because a couple wants to buy a house together. If either one should die, they want the deceased share to go to that person's heirs. Which form of ownership allows for this option?
Oh, now I'm drawing a blank. Not the joint one, right?
Correct. So what's the other common one? What's the other
Common
common
tenancy?
type of? Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Which must always be true of tenants in common? Each tenant must have an equal ownership share. B, each tenant rents his share of the land. C, each tenant has the right of survivorship. Or D, each tenant must join in a conveyance of title to the property.
And that's the one where if one passed away, they can leave it to whoever they want. So C. Or
So right of survivorship, think about it this way. All owners are driving in a car.
uh-huh.
They get into a car accident. Those that survive
Oh,
own the property.
okay.
It's really dark to think of it that way, but that works in my head. Okay. So
Makes
so the
sense.
small there's a small glimpse into how dark Tenley is. So when they're all in an accident and half of them die, who owns it? Who's left? That's survivorship.
Okay.
So it's not, so tenants in common does not have survivorship.
Okay.
So it's not C. Which one is it? Do you want to go through the answers together?
Well, yeah, what's A and B?
Yeah. So A is each tenant must have an equal ownership share. Does that need to happen?
Well, no. I guess one
Correct.
could own more than the other.
Exactly. Does each tenant need to rent his share of the land?
No, they don't have to.
Correct. And we know it's not C because they were all in a car crash together. So each tenant must join in a conveyance of title to the property.
Okay.
They all have to be on title together. And if they're selling it, they all are selling it. And if something's happening, they're all on board.
Okay.
Yep.
That was a good way to put it. I won't forget the car thing now. Which
Right?
helps.
I'm telling you, like, it's dark, but it works. All right. Let's do another one. Which of the following gives the grantee the most protection? General warranty deed, limited warranty deed, quit claim deed, bargain and sale deed.
B. No.
Nope. Which gives the grantee? So who's the grantee? Is it the buyer or the seller?
The seller.
Yep. Okay, so which one protects the seller the most?
Oh, what was C? C was the
Quit claim deed.
C.
So it's actually general warranty deed
Okay.
because it takes literally everything. And when there's a general warranty deed, you have title and all of that looking at it, and it takes everything and transfers it to the next person.
Okay.
Quit claim deed, you take and you wash your hands of it. Done. I'm not guaranteeing anything.
Okay. Is this different than like title insurance?
Yes. Title insurance guarantees your title to be clean, or they will take care of it for the time that you own that title.
Okay.
Yep. So if you sell that title and move on, well, then that title insurance is done.
Okay.
It's a one-time fee. Okay. We're gonna keep going on 3 just because we've only got a few minutes left. And it's a good one. Which of the following is not essential to the validity of a deed? A, recording. B, competent grantor. C, execution by the grantor. D, words of conveyance.
And the question is, which one's like not?
Correct. Which one is not essential?
What was A and B?
Recording, competent grantor. So if I'm the grantor, can I come in all drunk?
No,
Blacked out, drunk, go, that's fun, let's do it.
no.
So I have to be competent.
Mhm.
What if I'm really old and I probably have dementia? What about then? I'm getting
No.
old. Okay. What if I'm 16? Somehow I've got that amount of cash. I'm paying cash. Can I buy it?
Ooh, that's a tricky one. Well, I'd say no, because you're not, what, 18, sane and
Correct.
sober or whatever.
Yep, exactly. Okay, so which one is it?
And that,
Oh,
well,
sorry, go ahead.
what was D?
Words of conveyance.
And now the question is, which one I need to throw out?
Is not essential. Correct.
Gosh, I'm stuck between A and D, but I want to say D.
Here's my question. Do words have to be verbal or can they be written?
Written.
Okay. So do I have to have in writing saying that I'm going to convey this property to somebody?
Yeah, in writing.
Uh-huh. So are there words of conveyance?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So which one is it?
Does this go back to the other one where it doesn't have to be recorded?
Yep, exactly.
Okay, so A.
Yep, it does not have to be recorded. You have to be competent. Obviously, we discussed that. Execution, it's got to be signed. We know that one. The words of conveyance, that's the purchase agreement. That's the written contract saying, I'm going to buy this property for X amount of money.
Okay.
That's what that is. There has to be something. Even if it's mom and dad selling it to their kid and they're like, you know what, I don't even care. I would give it to them, but I really don't care. There still has to be something that says, I, the owner, am selling it, giving it, conveying it to this person.
Okay.
We can't just do it. Cool. All right, you're gonna love this one. Parents and their only child buy a property together. If one dies, the title automatically passes to the other owners. How did they take title?
No.
Joint tenants, tenants in severalty, tenants by entirety, or tenants in common? I realized halfway through your thinking process, like, I didn't even give them answers.
Well,
Work for it. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we've talked about some of them, so I was like,
Okay. Parents and their only child. You got 3 people in the car. One of them dies. And the title automatically passes to the other 2 owners. How did they take title? There was survivorship. Is it
What were
tenants and severalty?
I want to say yes.
Severalty, remember, severalty is by yourself.
Okay, yeah.
It sounds inclusive, but it's not. You're on your
Okay.
own. You're Nemo.
That one tricks me up because I went right back to that.
Yep. I know, it sounds really good when there's
Yeah.
several people involved. When there's several in the name, you're a lonesome little fish. You're done. You're done for. Tenants by entirety.
No.
No. What about tenants in common?
Is that D? Is that the last answer? What's
You have joint tenants and tenants in common left as your possible answers.
tenants in common?
So what would it be? Tenants in common? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
It's joint tenants. That coin isn't working for you.
Yeah.
Okay, remember.
Now I know what I need to work on.
Stop that. Remember the car crash. Joint tenants were in a car crash. Dad
Goes to whoever
dies.
survives.
The survivors automatically get the ownership.
Okay.
Think dark. That sounds so bad. I gotta come up with a different. Oh well, whatever. It works. All right. Last one. All of the following are advantages of having a will, except, so we're throwing one out. A, all heirs are known. B, there is no possibility of the real property escheating to the government. C, the testator is known and controls what will be in the will. D, state laws of descent, which are less strict, will apply. All of the following are advantages of having a will, except.
What was A?
All heirs are known.
So in will, they'd all be known.
Mm-hmm. Is that an advantage or a disadvantage?
That's an advantage.
Mm-hmm.
And what was B?
There is no possibility of the real property escheating to the government.
So it's saying it wouldn't go to the government, right?
Correct. Yeah,
So
they
that
know
would-
exactly who would own it. And so the government wouldn't be able to come in and go, oh, nobody claimed it, we'll just take it.
And C is
The testator is known and controls what will be in the will.
and D is
State laws of descent, which are less strict, will apply.
well, you can't break any laws with a will.
Correct? Is that what you're saying? Is it that one?
Yeah, I'm saying D.
It is.
Okay.
I don't know which laws it is. I don't know. Quite frankly, I don't know why it's a disadvantage, but it is. That's the one. Because you know things, knowing things is always an advantage. I have never heard of somebody having that question on the test, but it's something you should know, I guess.
Okay.
So there you go.
All right.
Any questions that have popped up?
No, I think I'll definitely read through this section or unit or whatever.
Yeah. Ownership.
Felt like I drove off a cliff.
No, you're good. Ownership and title transfers.
Okay. All right.
If you, again, I'm at the Burnsville office almost every day. And I don't live far either. So if like literally 5 minutes. So if you're in the office and you want some books or want to copy some pages or something, let me know. I
Okay.
don't know if you have workbooks or anything like that.
I just have the one from the Minnesota Realty or whatever that I was going through and highlighting and filling out, and actually made some copies of, I think they have some test exam in there. I was
Okay.
actually going to do that this weekend and then figure out what my weaknesses are, I guess, still, and then go from there.
Sounds good. If you want to come in the office, so I'm in the office all day on Saturday from 9 to 6.
Okay.
I can administer the test, that way it can feel more like a test too if you want. I know
Okay.
some people like getting under the lights and all of that, and it freaks them out enough. I don't know. It's an option for you, but just let me know.
Put the pressure on.
Right. So cool. Well, no, I think honestly, based on sessions previously and this one and everything, I think you're ready. I think you
Okay.
could take the test.
All right.
So yeah. If you have other questions, let me know. But
All right, we'll do.
cool. Have a good night, Darren, and we'll chat soon.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Absolutely. Have a good night.
Good night.